hunting has always been a necessity in frontier America, and if it weren't for that, Daniel Boone may never have explored nor tamed the bluegrass state of Kentucky. Kentucky is the heart of American folk heroes and the birthplace of many of the greatest Americans. Daniel Boone, Jim Bowie, Abraham Lincoln, Jefferson Davis, John Casey Jones, and the McCoys. They're all but a small portion of the list of characters that have become emblematic of the American spirit. But Kentucky doesn't stop at being rich in legends. Her land holds more miles of running water than any other state except Alaska, providing more than 1,000 commercially navigable miles. Today, 50% of Kentucky is commercial forest land, with more than 91,000 acres of farmland. To Craig Boddington, this combination of water, forest, and farm is an ideal home to the game he's here for, the Kentucky whitetail. All on today's Peterson's Hunting Adventure Television. Hi, welcome to Peterson's Hunting Adventures. So glad that you could be with us. I'm Tom Gresham.
And I'm Craig Boddington.
This week we're going to be taking you on a terrific whitetail deer hunt in Kentucky along the banks of the Ohio River. Joining Craig on this hunt will be hunting's technical editor Dick Metcalf, along with Thompson Center's Greg Ritz. Craig, tell us more about this hunt.
Well, Tom, it really was a great hunt. We're going to be hunting on a piece of land that Thompson Center uses for testing and evaluating their rifles and handguns. Now, the area is known to hold some really good white-tailed deer, but for me now, the fun is my grandfather is from right there in Kentucky, and back in 1910 when he was a boy, there weren't any deer there, nor when we visited when I was a kid, so it's really fun to see it. Now, listen, I know you're wearing a right-handed shirt, but you're a left-handed shooter just like me.
That's right.
And Thompson Center fixed me up with a left-hand thumbhole stock for one of their Encore rifles.
Man, that sounds like a great hunt. Tell you what, let's take a look.
Let's do it.
Welcome, guys.
Hey, Greg, how are you?
Craig, how are you?
Good to be here.
Good to see you again, Dick.
So this is R&W Game Trails.
It is.
All right.
Northwest Kentucky.
Beautiful.
You guys hunted Kentucky before?
I never have.
I have years ago.
Have you?
Yeah.
Well, Dick, you're right at home. The Ohio River is right over there.
And Illinois is right on the
And
other side.
Illinois is on the other side. So we got the same strain of whitetail you have in Illinois. So you guys are going to see 200-pound whitetails. Big body deer. And a mature buck will be 150 plus when he's 4 years old.
That's good deer.
Yeah.
Now, how long you guys been managing this place?
This is our 4th year right now.
Well, Greg, can you tell us a little more about the place and how did Thompson Center get involved in this?
Well, Craig, this is the largest private land holding in the entire state of Kentucky. It's 12,000 acres in one piece.
Good heavens.
It's owned by Kimball International, and it's managed strictly for timber. So TC found out about it 4 years ago because we've been trying to find an area that we would call a proving grounds. You know, I mean, the military has a proving grounds, or the industry, in my mind, needs a proving ground. Somewhere we can take firearms, ammunition, tree stands, four-wheelers.
It's utterly amazing to me that you found a tract that large in the Midwest in whitetail country. There just aren't any places like that.
No, it's amazing, and in places where there's big whitetail too.
I kind of put it in perspective. The property borders the Ohio River. Illinois, of course, is on the other side. We have 4.5 miles of river frontage on the Ohio.
Good grief.
The trade water makes a big oxbow through the center. There's 14 miles of trade water river. And I mean, that's deep enough to run a 150 Merc through.
Good heavens.
And you want to talk about turkeys? Because of that big river system that runs through it, I mean, they all roost there. We got plenty of agriculture. I mean, we have outstanding
Do we
turkey
shoot
hunting.
coyotes during deer season here?
Oh, everyone that you can find. Everyone. But
can't
don't be
wait.
shooting my turkeys now. I tell you though, when it comes to whitetails, I mean, it's just Illinois deer swam the river.
Well, you're right across the river from Pope County, Illinois, which is the Shawnee National Forest, and for years, until Pike County took over, that was the #1 deer county in the state of Illinois, and it's still very strong in all national forests.
Well, you guys probably remember the sad story from Larry's deer last year, that mid 190 we got on film that he didn't pull the trigger. Well, we found that deer, you know, chasing does just in the bend across the street. And in this past week, 6 other deer over 170 we've spotted, including 3 in the 180s.
What amazes me
That's
is those
great.
deer actually swim back and forth across the river.
It doesn't even stop them.
They don't even
Doesn't
stop.
The White Place is right across the river here, and I mean it's just a thoroughfare because that's where the agriculture is. But the big timber from Heath Mountain is over here, so they just swim across to eat.
Well, I am done listening to you. Let's go get our guns
Yeah,
sighted.
let's do that.
Well, I've got some special rifle for you guys, and of course a Pro Hunter pistol for you, Dick.
All right.
I'll get them.
Great.
And you guys
Thanks.
can get your gear.
Well, I've moved this scope forward a little bit for my eyes, and now let's check the bore sight and move it a little bit to the right.
Sighting in your rifle is an important detail never to be overlooked. Here, the measurement of success could be a click away. Craig will have more to say about this setup when we return with Peterson's Hunting Adventure Television.
Same target.
Hey, Craig.
Hey, Dick.
How come you've got a left-hand Encore and I don't?
Well, there's 2 reasons. You decided you wanted to shoot a pistol, and that wasn't my fault.
That's true.
And the other part of it is this is not an Encore. This is the new Encore Pro Hunter,
Okay,
new
that's
for 2006. And they've done some really interesting things. We've got a longer fluted barrel, which is a good heavy barrel. I like that. And see now, for us lefties, see how this hammer spur,
rotates out?
that.
You're kidding me.
see how that hammer spur rotates out? You can move it over to the right if you're one of those afflicted right-handed people, or if you're not going to use a scope, you can keep it straight back. Look at how easy that is to get to
That's
alongside of the
just
scope as compared to trying to get
That's
underneath.
just a great idea.
It's a wonderful idea.
And finally, a left-hand thumb hole stock.
Yeah, well, look at that.
That's
It's
pretty.
a beauty, and I tell you what, here, see how that stock feels to you,
I was
fellow
going to
lefty.
say, so yeah, I was going to say, yeah, hurry up and shoot your deer this week so I can use it for the rest of the week. I see you've selected the 280. Is that what you're hunting with for the whitetails this week?
Yeah, this is good old 280 Remington. That's pretty hard to beat for almost anything in North America, but this is 160 grain AccuBond load. I'm a heavy bullet guy. 140 is enough, but I really like a 160 grain bullet in a 7mm. Always have. Now, have you seen this new scope?
I've heard about this. This is absolutely amazing concept.
Yeah.
It, one of the most, as we both very well know, one of the major sources of eyebrow ring and misses and cramp shooting position is the scope mounting in relation to the bore being too high. And this allows you to have a large objective lens and bring it
you
down.
can bring it.
You had this out this morning,
Yes.
real early morning, and I know you're familiar with Leupold's standard 50mm. Did you see any difference at all?
Absolutely not. The field of view is perfectly round, and I mean, to my eye, it's equally sharp on this target all the way to the top, all the way to the bottom, side to side. I mean, it's to me, it's Leupold quality. I don't understand how that works, but obviously the little bend in the scope is not significant.
Well, that's why they make optics and we don't, I
Yeah.
suppose. But new bullet in the load and a new scope, and you get to use it.
Well, yeah, but it's my sling. That's the reason.
The folks here at Game Trails have made the hunting experience their profession. But even with the great accommodations on site, their strategic plotting and sightings all marked on the battle map, the perfect spots and blinds picked out and set up, they still cannot guarantee the ever-elusive whitetail buck. The guides at Game Trails placed Craig in a ground blind near the Ohio River.
There's a buck to our left coming through. He's a little guy. Nice little 8-pointer. That's probably a 2.5-year-old deer here, no more.
Two fishermen arrive less than 60 yards from Craig's blind. Luckily, they only stay for a moment. Soon after the fishermen depart, the young bucks begin to pass by Craig's blind again.
Yeah, that's an 18-month-old deer. Good genetics here. That's his first set of antlers.
We'll see what this morning holds for Craig when Peterson's Hunting Adventure Television continues.
Yeah. Yeah.
See any more deer?
We saw a couple spikes.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think I saw 8 different bucks.
All small though, huh?
Well, look, I heard the crashing over here. You know, from there, you're fairly low, and there's a screen right there, and I heard a crash, 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 and I looked, and I just couldn't see him. And but I knew he was there. What I think he ran across a little bit of opening and then got into this side and stopped, because there was a crash, 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 and then nothing. And I waited a while, and then the first time I just saw the tops of some antlers over the top of that laurel over there. And then I had a partial look at him as he went down the hill, and then I had a going away look.
Okay, when he went away, could you tell much about him? Or?
No.
Hanging around.
This is his place. Yeah, this is his place. Have to really think whether we ought to be here or back over in the field in the morning. I don't know. We'll see what we see tonight.
The morning proved to be a busy one. In addition to a brief glimpse at an older buck, Craig saw about 8 young deer, only about a year or so old. He decides to relocate into a clearing to see if he can get a look at that mature
Better
buck.
from here than looking from the other one.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we're about 340 yards to that tree stand down in the corner, and the absolute farthest corner is about 360. That's pushing it, but we're only about 260 to the corner of the field here, and the farthest corner of that field is also about 3. So, maximum 300 in any direction. That'll work, and hopefully they'll come in across the field a whole lot closer.
Holding out to the end, Craig decides it's better to wait another day for a chance at a bigger buck. Although this morning proves to be as busy as the last, Craig is now out of time and can only hope that buck makes an appearance before this fast approaching storm puts an end to the hunt.
No, that's another little buck. Another small buck.
Doe coming out. There's a buck chasing. That's a different buck. That's a different buck. We're going to shoot him. We're going to shoot him. We'll see if we can get him stopped. I think he's down hard, but let's go take a look and make absolutely sure.
More of Peterson's hunting adventures continues after this.
Should be right up here towards the cloud. There he is. There he is. Yeah, he's down. He's down. Let's just make 100% sure. 10-pointer, but he's been fighting. He's broken one of his tines. It's good, strong brow tines. Well, this isn't the monster we were looking for in here, and we know there's a couple of monsters in here, but he's a beautiful buck, and what we also know is that there's a big storm coming. It's supposed to hit this afternoon, and when it passes, it'll be glorious, and the big bucks will be moving again, but that's beyond the time I can hunt, so I'm real happy with him, and happy with the hunt, and happy with the shot. It worked well. This is a 3.5-year-old deer here at R&W Game Trails. Anytime you can hunt white-tailed deer, that's great. But if you can hunt them during the rut, and if you just happen to be lucky and catch the peak of the rut, it's really a wonderful experience.
Well, we'll load them up,
Okay.
get back to camp, and celebrate.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
All right. All right, super. We'll tie them up where we won't get a rack on the...
Yeah.
Congratulations!
Thank you. It's a great hunt. What a great hunt.
Heard you shoot about 8 o'clock.
Yeah. But here's the bullet right there.
We'll have to dig that out.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah. But the interesting thing is that that Pro Hunter with the thumb hole stock, you know, the 280 is not a small rifle,
Right.
not a big gun, but it handles the recoil so well that I saw the bullet hit.
You're kidding
No,
me.
I swear, I saw the bullet hit, and that's unusual with a
Well, it shows you how
30-06
much
class
control
cartridge.
you have over that
Total
rifle.
control. I was on sticks, but there was just no recoil, and I actually saw the bullet hit. It was wonderful.
Well, that's great.
Yeah,
That is
very cool.
Hey, Greg.
You all ready?
You bet. Did you
me
get
grab
that door?
Yep.
Well, I'm just really proud of you the way you're growing some whitetail, and you know, I wish I could stay, but it's hunting season, and you gotta make hay while the sun shines. Dick Metcalf got a great buck, and he had to leave yesterday, and I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna run out on you. Whitetail deer vary tremendously in body size, but whatever size they are, they're actually quite tough. So you want to make sure you get a really good shot on a whitetail deer. Better to wait until they stop, and of course we all hope for the broadside presentation. That doesn't always happen, but you want to visualize where that chest cavity is and stay on the shoulder or just a very little bit behind the shoulder. And I like to go just below the center, and you've got the most leeway for that shot. If you're a little bit low, you've got a great heart shot. If you're perfect, you've got a a central lung shot. If you happen to slip a little bit high, you've still got a spine shot, and you've got a little bit of room both left and right. So kind of on the back part of the shoulder or just behind the shoulder, for me, is the perfect shot placement for white-tailed deer.
Craig, that looked like a really fun hunt, but the thing that impressed me was when you stopped that running buck. How did you do that?
What impressed me was I remembered how to. I had a grunt call,
Okay.
this blue little grunt. And you know, 8 times out of 10, that's going to stop a deer. I'm not a high-tech whitetail hunter by any means, but I believe in a grunt call, and that's a normal reaction.
It's a great tool to have in your bag.
You bet.
I tell you what, thank you so much for joining us this week, and we'll see you next time.
Asa boa